Well, there you have it, a real full 30 rounds, nearly snaking their way into overtime, but we do have a conversation to be had. I've got Chad Birchall and Janko Paunovic hanging out with myself, Machine. Janko, when we talked about, Heroic and this awkward roster, I don't know if we were quite expecting them to put up that much resistance.
Definitely not, especially on a map like Train, right? We saw in Marseille that Envious was proficient on the map, even on LAN. Chad talked about RPK, and it's not just about that they seem to have a good grasp of the situation on the map. We saw it in the first half. They started off pretty strong on the T side, but maybe they got complacent a little bit. Heroic got a respectable score in the first half and then closed it out in the second.
And that was based off one man, Alex, Yugi.
I thought this conversation might start.
He had double the kills of anybody else on that CT side.
He hasn't played an official in how long, Chad?
It's like at least 4 weeks. It's probably
more
than that.
2 months.
Yeah,
2 months.
It's quite a lot. Did he play? He played Katowice, right?
No.
He didn't play Katowice?
Did he?
Yeah, that was the last time we saw him.
So that was 7 weeks ago now. So let's just round up and say 2 months. Here's the thing. He had double the kills on the first... Wasn't Katowice 6 weeks ago?
Probably. No, I can use it to count a lot of things when Katowice was and how many weeks have passed since then.
It's been a long time. But the point is that in that first half, out of the 7 rounds they won, in 6 of which Yugi had 2 kills or more.
Yeah, that's a great way to
If that doesn't look at his impact on rounds 1, then I don't know what does.
And when you look at his ADR, I mean, as an AWPer, tends to be a bit of a pinch of salt because you're either killing them or you're not. And despite that, 97 ADR.
I'm just thinking of the scenario where Envious probably at least a little bit prepared for this game, despite being in Marseille, and then just 10 minutes before the game, Yugi's playing, and you're like,
God damn it!
I did not plan for this, especially for the guy to be so dominant and really, single-handedly almost carry the team to victory.
It builds into the storyline of Envious not having a primary AWPer going up against a star AWPer. Yugi's one of those guys that definitely fits in that category, right? You can put him up there. Oh, I'm not going to put him up there with the likes of Device, Guardian, right now, but in terms of the tier below that, he definitely exists within a star AWPer category.
Yeah, I think the only reason why you don't really put him in that tier is because his team isn't performing on that level. If you maybe put him in a better team, you put him in self-device in Astralis, maybe he is up to par with everyone else, and Astralis still does well.
Yeah. You know that I like to stay on the pulse of the Counter-Strike news, Alex. You know that I'm always there, I'm always sniffing, I keep on the ear to the ground. And Janko, would you think we see more or a more proficient Yugi in, say, maybe a roster with Config, Gade, Cbble, Snappy, and the man himself?
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, that's the rumor right now, boys, that Optic want to go completely completely Danish.
In North America, of course.
Well, I don't know what that plan is, but that's the rumor, right? That's where they...
Hit me with the rumor?
The rumor is that Yugi and Snappy are going to the Optic roster and getting rid of Stan and Shazam.
That's a good team.
It's a better team than
Config,
Heroic or the current Optic.
Oof, okay. All right, that's an interesting conversation one for us there. Yugi and Snappy, I mean, it might help us understand what's been going on with the absences of Heroic members, but either way, conversation perhaps
flying
for another
out to
time.
North America to negotiate.
Yeah. Snappy, where are you, mate? I'm on the plane. Sorry, guys, have to understand.
There's this place in Texas. It's called Frisco.
Yugi sends a text just like, you're going to need me tonight. They're like, what? Oh, Snappy's not playing. I guess Yuki's standing in. Anyway, of random scenarios that we're making up in our heads aside, an interesting one coming up next. We have got Cobblestone now recently announced that it will no longer be in the competitive map pool. In fact, even for Dallas, we are going to be having Cobblestone removed. We're going to be seeing none other than Dust 2 back in its place. But as we take a look at this season's maps played, there's lots of things to standing out. Not only Inferno being played almost twice as much as anything else, but Cobblestone, you can see middle of the pack.
Yeah, it's still cropped up more than Overpass, Cache, and Nuke, which is quite surprising, I think, in a lot of categories here. Now, I'm one of the people who like Cobble. A lot of people don't, because we talk about it time and time again. It's very difficult for the CTs to find information or go for plays along those lines. But I like that we have maps that aren't all similar in that regard. I'm sure it can get very one-dimensional how many times we can see a bloody B execute on that map come in. Now, I guess, there's a lot of issues for how it can be played more dynamically on the CT side, but the reason I liked it was because I think T's could have a lot of innovation in their approaches to doing full executes, and that's something which I'm all about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cobblestone removed, Janko. We haven't actually had this conversation on the desk before, but Was that on your hit list? Was that #1 on your hit list for the new map?
Yeah, I think it was either that or Mirage, because when you look at the way how maps are rotated, but Cbble I think is the only one that you tend to point out to the map and say that it has some, you know, massive flaws in the way it's just the layout of the map itself, the T spawn with map control to an extent, right? There's so little room for CTs to go for any aggressive moves. What you see from most teams is they take a lot of gambles, right? 3A, 4B, depending on where they think the hit is going to be. So it makes it very uncomfortable in a lot of the rounds, really. And I think that's the reason why it got removed. Dust 2 probably needs a few more tweaks when it comes to visibility, but it's a classic, really, you know, and I think it will always be entertaining to have it in the pool.
Yeah, and I mean, this is probably a bit of a risky conversation. I don't want to get a slap on the wrist for saying it, but the introduction of it so soon, Chad, what do you make of that? Seeing it has been announced for both, we get to see it at Sydney and Dallas for the Pro League finals.
If I was to put on my ex-player cap right now, I would be very frustrated, because it means in terms of practice, where do we prioritize it? How are we going to quickly get up to scratch? An underdog position, fantastic. This is great. If I'm an underdog, I'm loving this, the fact that I get to play with this in vetoes. But if I'm one of the top dogs, I'm not so happy. But if I take that,
Astralis.
Yeah, unless you're a FaZe or Astralis.
If I take my hat back off and I look at it from the perspective of now in the scene and makes sense and it's going to be used at majors, this is definitely the right time, right? I think you need to get it in as quickly as humanly possible.
I think the answer is there's no right time, so might as well do it now, right? I mean, when are you going to do it? After Pro League, then you have Kiev, ECS finals, Brazil, all of that. I mean, might as well get it over with immediately.
Get the Band-Aid off.
And I think one of the, you know, silver linings is that Dust 2 isn't the most complex map in the world, right? Yes, you're going to learn new maybe lineups, timings, you know, things like that, but you know, it is a run and gun map more than anything else, really.
Here's the best thing as well. If you're one of these pro teams, right, because it's been out for a period of time now, we know that people at home, they play matchmaking. You know, they're playing maybe the FACEITs, the ESEAs of the world. They can play
matches at the very least.
Exactly, right? Yeah. But those things, what I'm getting to here is people have already done the nerdy hard work in sitting there on the servers and working out different flushes and smokes. If you just want to quickly send your analyst or your coach and say, look, buddy, go find us the easiest ones that we can use, or in anything unique, you can always just have that happen so you don't have to geek it out too hard in the server with all the pop flash and stuff.
If I'm being completely, you know, from a personal standpoint, I'm just excited to see some more competitive Dust 2. Like, that's going to be so exciting when we're sitting there at an event and we get to see, like, Dust 2 for the first time in how long? Like, a year? More?
The last match was at the... It was at a major? The last time we would have seen it would have definitely been at a major.
I reckon it was over a year, yeah.
Then it wasn't... Then it has to be Atlanta. Yeah, maybe Atlanta 2017.
I know that everyone's favorite guy from HTV.org, Peter, made a tweet about it just the other day, saying the last time we met, but I've forgotten the...
Yeah, but I think that's the point. Structurally, not much has changed, right? Still, if you have a good spawn, you're going to try and go out long as T. You have the B splits, you have the, you know, fakes, all of that stuff. So I think in that sense, it's not going to be the end of the world. And obviously, the more vocal, you know, protesters are going to be teams that Cobblestone is a very good map for them, more than anything else.
Heroic are in that category, right? I mean, this is a team that do thrive on Cobblestone, and as you can see, we're about to play it. Likelihood is they could very well pick up 6 points, which is very, very important for their race to get into that top 7. Cobblestone, however, it has been removed. Sorry to interrupt you, Chad.
I was just going to say, I found that tweet from Peter just quickly. The last time that we saw Dust 2 played was the E-League Major in January 2017, and the last match, it was Fnatic versus Gambit, map 3 of their quarterfinal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, just to say, I think it's a great decision from ESL even to do it for Pro League finals, despite Cobblestone being played in the league. Because if you don't do that, then you create this incredibly awkward situation for the teams where they have to keep playing Cobblestone because of that one tournament, but also have to play Dust because of other tournaments, and it's just all over the place. So yes, it's not ideal that it's not going to be the same as at the finals as it was for the online portion of the league, but I think the grand scheme of things, it's the most sensible decision to make.
Absolutely. Now we are coming into another match between Envious and Heroic. The French desperate to try and get these 3 points. Let's not forget that, of course, they are actually in the danger zone right now, and every point matters as we're in our closing week, and they do not want to be heading back into the doldrums of the MDL. Predictions, though, do they manage to get the 3 here, bounce back?
I think Envious is going to take this one. I can't see Yugi having as much impact with the AWP. Sure, he's still going to have impact, but this is a map where the AWP can get locked out of scenarios. It's difficult to retake bomb sites. So. I think this one Envy should better lock down with the more of the 5 rifle setup.
I'm going with, and we probably know the happy drop lurk. It's a classic Chad, even though people expected they can't do anything about it, really.
Perfect. Yes, indeed. The casters are going to be jumping into this one. Hank's been doing his pre-cast squats to get the blood flowing. Tom Biz joining him, and they're going to be jumping straight into Cobblestone. I guess the question for you to start discussing here is, no more Cobble after this.
Yeah, it's a shame.
You're a fan?
End of an era, I would say.
You're a Dust 2
I think
fanboy.
good riddance to Cobblestone. It can do one. I'm sick of it. Hopefully it's the last time I ever cast it. We'll get into the next map here. Envy certainly do need this one to go in their favour. Heroic will have 5 sets of armour, no nades whatsoever. Kiyoshima and Scream will have flashbangs, defuse kit, happy with the HE, and he's got a CZ as well. We're seeing that more and more as they go for something a little bit interesting. You see 4 players hidden from vision towards A. What's so hoping a CT goes investigative information, makes a footstep, maybe goes towards B halls. They mow him down. It's like waiting in the bush, so, you know. It's like kind of trying to see if you can wait for someone to run by. You've got a gang set up, something like that.
It's something you do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Haji, he's going to have players pushing in onto his position, but he doesn't get anything done at all. It's the T's to just barrel on towards this site. Happy's going to be there now. He does have that HE. I don't know where it's going to be used now, because I feel like all of the players are just going to separate.
When the bomb's down, it becomes a bit useless. But we'll see.
I just prefer a smoke, that's all, just for like after plant positions. But, well, it's looking like they're not even going to get a chance to use any utility here, just being cleaned up by the T side. Both players completely sectioned out of the site, and by the looks of things, Heroic have got this pistol on lockdown.
Scream will get some consolation. I was about to say frags, it's actually singular, and it will be happy now to save the CZ. Might as well save it. Thomas going to be using it next round. So,
What do you mean? Like, you might want to pick something else up.
No, I think this is a pretty
He's going to
open
upgrade
shot
to the
case.
dual Berettas.
Yeah, well, you might be able to throw it over if you really want to. I doubt that's going to happen. He'll buy armor and 2 flashbangs probably, or a diffuse kit. I would say armor, diffuse kit would be a great buy for him. Let's do that. Go for it. Oh,
Could get diffuse kit and a smoke.
Come on. He's the AWPer, I guess. He wants to keep his money at a reasonable level. Does make sense.
Actually, most of the team are doing that. It's only Haji who's really invested.
Well, I've been talking about this a lot recently. The fact if you get a 1-dig someone, it's unlikely you take any damage first, right? So you might. This is the way I think the game should be played. It means you actually get a full buy in the first CT gun round. You actually get incendiaries, diffuse kits, the AWP, and you still have a chance of winning this round with Deagles. And I think this is the best way to approach, especially best of ones.
So you got drop down. You see the position that RPK is in. What do you call that?
E-box.
See, now I would call that Mr. Krabs, because if you
Well,
look at the E-box,
yeah.
it is Mr. Krabs.
Oh, I can see that now already. That's actually pretty good. So
Although there are multiple Mr. Krabs in lots of different maps. So
he's a lobster from SpongeBob SquarePants, when I was not aware. He sometimes cries of money. He plays the world's smallest violin at times as well.
I'm a big fan. And he has obviously the secret recipe to the burger sauce.
The Krusty Krabs, yeah.
So yeah, that's why it should be called Mr. Krabs. The only problem is you can't do it on Mirage because there's more than one.
Oh, is that feature in Mirage as well? That
Yeah.
particular little box. Okay.
Yeah. I'm an expert when it comes to Mr. Krabs.
You took a day, said right, I need to get to the bottom of this. How many are there?
How many Mr. Krabs are there on each map?
Well,
But
either way.
I have a lot of spare time, Henry, in case you didn't realise.
It sounds kind of nice. I'm not lying to you. It's going to be a free kill for Hachi. Actually, Kiyoshima takes it well. And it will be an open A site, unfortunately. So that actually works out quite nicely. Modi will pull them all over towards B, bomb down, and Scream will be left looking at 6s and 7s here because he'll be smoked out, Molotov at his feet, Nico watching the flanks, and RPK will be able to maybe find a kill there. Not quite though, double spray down for Nico. Does take a lot of damage, but that's going to be round guaranteed now. So there you have it.
I will say, considering they don't have an in-game leader, it seemed a lot on train and already at the beginning. Heroic have just been great at
gotta remember,
baiting their opponents.
Modi's been playing for 15 years. He's been in-game leaders before. And he's been playing with this lineup for a long time now. He knows all the strategies. He knows how to call. And he's just got to bring an AWPer in. So, you know what, that's okay. He can handle this. With Peacemaker there as well, they've got this covered. They can be absolutely fine. Sure, it's not ideal, but they've already won a map. So they can just go through the rhythms here. Looks absolutely fine. 4 players survive. Should be the full eco for Envy. If they lose this one as well, Tom, they could be in the conversation for relegation.
Well, I think they're already. I think they're in the conversation.
Yeah.
It's just they may be getting locked in as one of the teams getting relegated. I think they're down there, obviously, with AGO.
Yes.
Newbies to the sort of pro league scene. I
Yeah,
feel
their
like
rookie
they've had the same sort of entry as almost like Kingwin. Just they came in.
That's what Big did as well. Big just came in for one season, then just got removed. That was the end of it. Can't even remember them being in it, to be honest. But they have got a UK player now, so...
Yeah, I'm guessing you're a fan. I feel like I'd be very surprised if you weren't.
Yeah, I've been trying to help him out since pre-Epsilon days of trying to sort things out for him. Didn't really work out.
I don't know what you're talking
Tried
about.
to get him an FPL and everything like that. Didn't really go well for me.
Well, supposedly if he wins the tournament he's currently at, he's being added to FPL.
What's the tournament they're at?
I can't remember.
Oh,
But I know that they are.
But it sounds
Yeah.
of things.
But I think Godby's not there or something, so it's a bit of a weird big anyway. That seems to just happen. It's like we've added in an AWPer, or we've got our AWPer back. Now our in-game leader's disappeared.
Heroic, same
Like,
thing, yeah.
it's weird.
Well, this is looking like a very conclusive round. Modi just keeping them at B again, bombs down at A. We've had this twice now, so there you have it. Modi to do a great job. Bomb planted, and that will be round. Happy's got a Zeus. He could actually make it work here. No chance. Double kill for Modi, and just screaming Haji, waiting. Oh, I just seen an interesting headline on your phone.
Yeah.
So, Optic set to land Snappy and Yugi. Hold on, so this is it's like EastEnders now. So we just thought he was bowing out. It's like, you know what, a little bit tired, can't play tonight. And it turns out he is actually going to be in a team with Cajun B.
They've just kept the Danes.
They've basically gone for a full Danish lineup now. So they've just stolen 2 heroic players.
I like that.
Yugi's
actually.
like, must be really awkward for him tonight. He's like, guys, yeah, I can fill in for you. Hey, I'm just going to say to a TV article about you. Oh, no, that's just like rumors.
Well, that makes this whole like Snappy thing. That's even weirder.
Yeah.
Because then it means like he's gone. Okay, I'm leaving, so I'm gonna not play this game. And then like, okay, who can we get? Who else is around?
Yugi, we can't actually play if you don't turn up.
Nice guy Yugi, I guess.
And Peacemaker's just joined this organisation thing. He's this is it. This is the team I sink my teeth into. We're going to sort this one out. Lose your 2 best players, or at least one of them, in the first transaction. But fair enough to Optic. At least they're not giving up on the project completely. They've just got rid of the North American players and going full Danish. Presumably that means, though, all those Danes have to move to North America. We're talking over this game. Sorry, this is relevant with the heroic players, but it's going to be looking quite good for them, unfortunately, for the team, because they are about to lose Yugi, apparently. 5-on-1, and MBO just rolling over, Tom. They can't get anything done at all. Not a single kill picked up, and a pretty standard execution towards B. Bit of damage inflicted, but overall, very disappointing.
Yeah, especially when they sort of saved a little bit of extra money so they could have some utility. They even had Haji's saving the AK or having some utility still left on him, and they just got absolutely obliterated. Just a fast play from Heroic. You can see they still have most of their nades left. They didn't even do too much in terms of an execution, and they keep every single player alive, which is probably the most worrying prospect of all. So yeah, it's going to be 4-0 in favor of Heroic. See, I was looking to see what tournament Smooya is at, and then I forgot to do that because that headline threw me off guard.
Yeah, I think that's overshadowed it, if anything. So yeah, maybe we just leave that alone, as we will go 4-0. Heroic now find himself in a promising spot. Should be a full eco here for him. They do save the AK for Hadji. He'll drop some CZs over, so they're going to give this a go. A little partial buy here as we get into the next round.
Does it work like that if you have a full Danish team just living in NA? They'd just be in the NA one?
Yeah, because Renegades had a full Australian lineup when they were in Pro League.
Oh yeah, and I suppose even the old Optic was
And yeah,
all EU as well. The question is though, will the Danish players want to move back to Denmark?
I think the visas have already got them in a place where at least Cajun B and config are already set there. So the idea is to bring the other guys on board as well, give it a real go. Optic wouldn't have them living in Denmark. They'd lose their spot in Pro League.
That's true.
Either way, here it comes. There will be kills available for Heroic. 5-0 now. And that is going to be one very quick round as we move things on. Another AWP available for Happy. 1 and 4 right now. He does his best work on this map on the T side. So look out for that. We'll see whether he can start to do some serious work.
Already. Large bank built for Heroic. 12,000 onto Rubino, a couple of 8 grand players as well, and Actually, the lowest down the bottom is Yugi, who just upgraded to that AWP. So they have plenty of cash already. 5 rounds up on the T side. Haji misses the early spray, and now he's just going to have players again. It's just fast plays from Heroic. They're catching their opponents off guard. Minute 30 left on the clock, and they're already all the way up towards that A side. Haji's still in the back line, though, and actually RPK will push back in. The CT side have shut this push down. Rubino going to go for the last-ditch bomb plant to earn at least a little bit of extra cash, but he will get overwhelmed. And that round looked great from Heroic, and then RPK just runs into the site and ruins 2 players.
3 kills for him, and the bomb does get planted, so not all is lost. You can see the money extremely strong for Heroic, but good news for Envy, they had a clean sheet there, so even if they do get reset, there'll be 1 more buy available. But there it is, the first round posted. His RPK flash over, and the tank is in 5th gear when he gets to this point. Runs through, they're not even looking at him, Tom. They don't know where he's getting those frags. But all for Yugi now, and this is when things get a bit dicey.
Yeah, had it in the previous round, but obviously the faster play sort of negates that a little bit, not really setting up around him, and this time he's going to go aggressive. Haji spraying through already, does so much damage, takes down Yugi. I think he was sort of pincered in by his own teammates, and actually S-Tag, he's going to be tagged down to just 24 HP. Haji not done, he goes back for more, eventually gets overwhelmed, but he's done enough.
Yeah, that'll do. And Nico just absolutely gives himself up for free. Why he faces the angle of an ADA, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, S-Tag. Not renowned for his AWPing, and will be shut down by Happy and Modi. Now the only one left alive, but on the wrong side of the map, doesn't have the bomb. 3 players sat towards it and 1 lurking. He's going to need a miracle. Now they do still have plenty of money, so even damage here will be valuable to this Heroic side. Scream. Oh, he's actually going to show exactly where he is. Somebody can fairly easily just pre-fire this angle and will find himself a kill back. Even just dropping 1 more player, I feel like is worth the value for Modi going something in this round. Obviously, as said, they've got so much money left on their side that the Danes don't really have to worry too much.
Yeah, they certainly have got a lot of cash available to them, as you can see. Certainly another buy. This is probably another $1,900 to go. It's up to Modi now. Not an impossible round, but not far from it. So he'll be coming from the vent. Kirishima waiting for him there. Pretty much an execution, a death sentence if he goes around the corner. He'll just be holding up for any CTs exploring now. He knows he's saving his AK, and it looks like he will be able to do that. No kills will be achieved. Modi with the SK sticker on his gun. Used to be a player for SK with Amagus, Cacadian, and I can't remember the other 2. But, you know, it was a long time ago, different times. Happier times, perhaps.
Well, especially now.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in-game leader and someone you've been with for a while is about to leave, and
sure, yeah, this is a bit turbulent at this point, isn't it? But it's cool the Optic going for a full Danish lineup. Well, that's kind of exciting. Let's stop these international projects and say, right, let's see what we can create here. So Occasion, Config, Yugi, Snappy, and who was the 5th?
Gade.
Gade staying as well?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. I'd imagine they just keep the Danes they've got. We are going to be 5-2. T-side still have themselves a buy, and even still, the loss bonus now starts to build up behind them a little bit. Modi going to be dropping in, trying to use the sound cue. Flashbang's good, but he does take a lot of damage, considering his opponent was completely blind. However, now the CTs may get a little bit restless. Haji looking for more aggression. It was very successful in the previous round. He's taken a different angle. He will get the first, but again, it's a quick trade. However, Happy with the AWP manages to net 1 more and does have to try and hold off as the remaining players push in towards this A site. He's done the work, though. It's left onto Yugi, the man who's just come back into this roster. Is going to spot Happy up above. He's going to manage to escape. Scream even peeking in, and it will be another round on the board. Envy, once they've had this AWP, once they've had the full utility, definitely looking like they're back in this map.
Yep, 5-3. It is slightly T-sided cobblestone as well. Money's starting to run dry now for Relic. They'll have 1 more buy here. Have to drop a couple of AKs, I think, but overall, they do get everything they need. Yugi might just be on the pistol. Does he have an AK on the floor? Time will tell. No, he doesn't. So he is obviously the AWP, has a bit less cash than everyone else. He'll go for the Desert Eagle, but the Danish Eagles certainly are something to behold as we get into round number 9 here Orb still in Happy's hands. Rubino looking to avoid flashbangs here and just throw more towards the steps at the very start, push them off. That didn't go well.
It looks pretty though.
Yeah.
That's about it. I want to ask, M4S, do they need to like change it, or do you think it's still? Because I feel like it's somewhat obsolete. I don't think there's
They need
that
to
many
add
players.
like 40 more residual bullets, so you can actually have the option to spray. You know, like there's actually something there. Right now it's too weak. Only the real specialist players use it, and the M4A4 beats it in pretty much every scenario, really. So yeah, that's something that does need to be addressed quite dramatically. Scream trying to get this kill done, and that's a really heavy overcommitment there. And it's now a 4-on-2. Happy still alive and kicking. He might be able to get another one here. Oof, that shot. That was the deciding factor as he falls back. He has got the bomb at his feet there. Looking towards middle. Somehow still alive. Surely dead now. Indeed he is. Get incendiary to try and hold them at bay. But Kiyoshima coming in, making a lot of noise. Down he goes. Thought he's got a knife Nico there.
I think
not going to happen.
Yeah, just he expected them to just be running straight on towards the A site, so ends up falling, and the CTs are still going to have enough money that they can purchase back into this one. Happy on that AWP, and everybody else with pretty much everything in play. A couple of kits and even a decent amount of utility, so not too much of a problem just yet. However, Heroic, they're still going to continue to build into this because they've got their AWP back at least. That's something for the CT side, but I still feel like there's going to be some limitations here. Scream already finds the opener. Happy takes a dunk from the nade, but he's still aggressive. That flashbang is perfect, but it doesn't matter. He finds the kill anyway and is able to fall off and take a 2-man advantage for his team. Haji waiting for any further aggression and actually gets the second as well and leaves Modi alone into a 1 versus 5. An instant bounce back from Envy, and Modi again is just left to try and do some damage.
5-on-1. He has got the bomb, but I think his options are very limited there. Put that smoke down to give him a bit of a veil towards the connector, see if he can find a pick perhaps. He has got RPK in his crosshairs, but he does not know it. I'll have 2 players towards middle now, and smoke comes in again. Same idea, maybe throw it a little bit deeper so you can actually check these corners out. I think he's dead for. Flashbang in, and down he goes.
Yeah,
that should be the eco now.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of extra cash onto Yugi, so he may just go for a deagle or something, but of course we'll want to be buying that AWP into the next round, and they can still get somewhat of a buy, but they're actually looking like they're going to fully invest into this one. He's at least bought up an AK-47, but doesn't buy too much behind it. And it means that they've got a little bit of extra money, so I suppose if they do save for a couple of rounds, he'll be on an AWP once again. But if they lose this, it's actually going to give Envy pretty much the equalization on the score.
Flashbang in. It's going to be a focus on drop-down Modi to try and open things up. The flash will be coming in the second. They're actually dropping down, making a lot of noise there, and RPK looking to punish. Can't find the shots just yet. Doesn't find anything. Nico opens things up, CZ in hand. Happy has to start hitting shots now. There's the first, but didn't convert it to a frag just yet. Certainly did in the end, though.
He'll now fall to S-Tag, and it leaves a lot of this on to Scream and Haji, who are just going to wipe down Yugi left alone. Into a 1 versus 2. Does some damage onto Scream, and could have retrieved the bomb, but actually walks past it instead. He's still got plenty of time on the clock. That is one thing that Yugi has in his favor. Still, CT side with the man advantage utility as well, and Yugi just hoping that one of them makes a mistake, but realistically, until this bomb goes down, there's not much of a need to peek. Scream looking tempted.
Well, they don't know if he's still an A, right? So he's just trying to buy as much time as possible, see if they maybe go check out the B site, considering he's been silent for so long. I'll just be holding on A now. Bomb planted to see if their reaction comes in. They haven't heard it. Now they have, so they'll push through. Scream assertive. Can't hit the shot just yet, but there it is. It takes down Yugi. Decent attempt. You see the incendiary completely destroyed him, though. Even if he found that first kill, he would have been traded. As they wait, just going to find the other AWP before they take the defuse. There it is. Scream has found it. 3 kills for him in the round. Starting to tie things up here. Bomb down. Money still tight for Heroic. That was the commitment with the force buy. Round 12 coming up. Looks like this could be another 30 rounder.
30 mapper.
That would be.
I don't know
one
how
for
long
the
you want to
ages.
be here, but I like being here at Pro League, but 30 maps, I think I might
No,
die.
we do 18 maps in a week. That's our limit. We can't do any more. But here's around 12. What do they go for? Another partial buy. HE's to nade the upper platform and rush it potentially. Just bounce him off the corner of the wall here. Not going to do that just yet. Nades going in, and easy shot from Kiyoshima. Can't get the double. We might actually struggle here a little bit. Does he go for the check again? I'd say when you already got this, just fall back towards his chicken coop, mate. But he wants a bit more. Scream certainly does. 2 kills for him. Bomb down. That's going to be round. But can they find anything else?
Looking to try and at least reduce the amount of money that the CTs are able to build up, but it is only the singular kill for Nico. A few low players along the way, but that doesn't really make a difference in the grand scale of things. And now there can be a buy coming in at least for the T side, although I believe if there's going to be an AWP in play, it will have to be Glass Cannon. Tactical timeout, so get a little bit more time with Peacemaker, and especially considering the lead they built up. I believe they were 5-0 up.
Yes.
There's definitely been a good resurgence from MV coming back in this half, especially on the CT side.
Just joining us, MV did drop the first map on Train, 16-14, and considering this isn't the full heroic lineup, that's a massive upset. And we just heard news as well that Optic have announced their Danish lineup, which actually takes one of the heroic players. That's been the problem for heroic for the longest time. It's such a farm team, aren't they? They had like Valda before, they had Glaive in this team. Like anyone who's been a big name within the Danish squad or Danish scene has been in this team originally and then plucked away, and then they have to rebuild. And now they've lost Yuki as well.
I feel like they did that with Tricked for a bit though themselves.
I guess this organisation though, like, they've probably made money, you know?
Yeah.
Just like get a stable 5 in, build them up, knock them down, take the money.
Do the same again. Doesn't work with many countries, but I feel like Denmark is one of the ones where you can get away with it.
Yeah.
There always seems to be a constant talent pool, and Kyo going to be looking for that opener. Again, they're fairly aggressive with their peeks into drop, and they have been punished at points in this game. Yugi already going to be peeking out. Doesn't have his AWP in this round, and more. A flurry of frags just comes in for the T's. Modi with the double, Yugi with one himself, and the B site is left all onto Happy, lurking in the back line, sat in that chicken coop. And he almost has to pray that they don't check it. That's the only way they can win this round, especially now that he is the only one left. And, well, he'll get a singular frag, but that will be all. 7-6, Heroic take back their lead. And, well, Envy, they were on that comeback train.
Okay. A bold move.
People don't like that, supposedly.
No, I've heard about that. What was the game that happened?
That was WSG Grand Final.
Against Space
Golden
Soldiers.
using it against Space Soldiers. And
Yeah, I
think
didn't
they
watch it, but apparently the whole internet had a meltdown.
Yeah, no, it was Carsten.
Oh, really?
I think it was Space Soldiers were winning. It was like 14-8 or 14-7 or something.
Yeah.
And then Fnatic came all the way back and won. And that was the final map of the grand final for
And they used all the
$800,000.
They used the sniper to
Just
win the
spam
game.
through the smoke at the
Right.
back of Mirage A site from CT.
you can be too mad at it. If it's such a stupid thing to do, then one just beat them. You know?
But also, they kept going A.
Yeah.
So he just sat there, spammed through the smoke, and if players are going to run into it, then I don't really think that's his problem.
No, I agree.
And I think for $800,000, I think I'd be using the auto sniper as well.
Grenades in. And for now, Envy still with a full buy. This would be their last, though. Well, it's the last round next anyway. You know what I mean? If they lose this round, they are going to be eager to finish things off. Flashbang's pretty decent there. Scream seems to think so. He eats it. Gobbles it down. And it's a 5-on-3. Kiyoshima, this auto sniper better be good.
Yeah. Cost him quite a bit of money. Does manage to get himself a first, but now he's completely isolated in the back of the chicken coop, and he needs someone to bail him out. Luckily, Haji is there to find a first, but it's quickly traded out. The HE even dunking onto Kyo, and now Happy left in a 1v3 retake with an AWP.
Safe.
He's not going for it, just going to run away and hold onto his gun.
No money for next round. Save the AWP and see what you can do. But Heroic, after felt like about 5 rounds against them, after being 5-0 up, have won the half here on Cobblestone. Happy is nothing to be gained from this. Even if he finds 1 kill, it's not going to take the gun out of anyone's hands.
Well, it's actually so producer Reese from Faceit has his own like law, Reese's law, which is if a team comes back and equalizes, say for example 6-6, the team that was originally in the lead will take the lead again. It does seem to happen an awful lot.
It's a law.
It's Reese's law.
Okay.
It happened here.
Yes, it did. They'll always come back and take the lead.
But then again, I suppose if it doesn't happen, you don't notice it so much.
There's that Stag getting it done.
Now going to be at least them winning themselves the half. And while the buy is not the best, UMP onto Scream. They've got a few pistols as well. And Happy still has that AWP managed to save, but definitely looking like a much better buy over on that T side. Already Scream, though, will open things up. Actually, Rubino, he just runs in. This was all a fake, though, as the remaining players are going to go back towards that A site.
Well, here we go. It will be a fast approach to the site. CT to defend. Happy can't do anything, though. And in the backlines, here he comes. CZ in hand, gunning out of the connector, but they're all getting swatted away. 4-on-2, Kiyoshima and Scream trying to do whatever they can to keep in this round. And I don't think it's really going to be working out all too well for them. Kyo will have to wait for Scream to make something happen here. That's a nice shot to at least take down Nico, but they have not got kits. Bomb's down at A, and they've still got 3 players to find him. We're getting at the halfway point of the bomb. Scream's in a lot of trouble here. One more bullet will take him down, straight in the dome. And there we have it, 9-6 for Heroic. And this is looking like maybe 2 maps against Envy, and they're in one of the most prestigious orgs in all of esports, right? Like one of the biggest names in terms of
Major winners?
Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Overwatch. Like every game, they're like big naming, right? And CS:GO, since winning the major Cluj-Napoca in 2015, was that?
Yeah.
And this has just been a nightmare of a project, hasn't it? Like they haven't really done anything since. So they've won.
Yeah, they won WESG.
WESG against who was that in the final?
That was against Kingwin.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like that's hardly like
And
wow, this
Kingwin
team's back.
Actually, I think they beat VP on the way. And there was about
Again,
three or four times in that tournament where they should have lost, like to Tyloo, to Space
Yeah,
Soldiers.
and like it just I can't believe this lineup's still getting a paycheck. You know,
the
it's like
weird
they're
thing
getting
for
the
me
big money.
was that when I heard about the super team being made, in my head I just assumed they were going to Envy. Like I never thought that they would go the way of G2. I always thought it was going to be, oh, Envy will just take the good players and then G2 will be the one who like have the fallback. But this was just the one time when we were like, no, we're not going to flash the cash, and G2.
They're really struggling against Heroic, who are not even in a top 20 team right now, I don't think. And it's bad. They don't even got their full lineup here.
No.
You know?
Especially when they're the team that are normally good online. That's where they do perform in those sort of qualifier
finished like
spots.
4 frags in, I think.
Yeah, they did seem like drop down definitely seemed to be the problem for them in that. They just kept getting overwhelmed. RPK was getting wrecked, and then Scream was trying to do something really aggressive to try and take it back. Over towards A, everything looked decent. Like Happy finding the picks with the AWP. Hadji then just spraying down players down the ramp, but yeah, it was that B site where we saw so many just fast takes from Heroic, where they were just able to overwhelm the players there, and well, you can see the sort of almost just frustration from Envy as they go, hey, let's throw in an auto sniper and just try and like spam them down.
Well, Envy definitely need the pistol here. They don't pick this up, it could be them leaving the Pro League. Really not looking too good. We're on number 1 in the second half. We'll have a look at their buy. Just a decoy, that's it. 5 sets of armor. No utility on either side. As Nico spots a lot of players towards top and middle there.
And just look at the rotation already. 4 CTs now sit towards this A site. Happy is going to be in his sort of classic lurk roll over towards this drop position. And they are looking like they're still going to make this push forward. Now, a lot of the time you do see just teams try and make a lot of noise just in case there is somebody close, and then they can rotate back and just sort of hold the map control with a lurker. But the fact is, with Rubino on such a sort of aggressive plat position, they don't really need to over-rotate here on the CT side. They'll know if anybody's running in that direction. Tag is going to win himself that opening duel as well, which is only going to make things worse.
Yeah, this is so obvious, isn't it? You found Happy teammates. Yep, they're on the other side of the map. So yeah, there's no doubt in anyone's mind at this point. Everyone's staring along A. 4 players on A, that's not a thing.
Wait, and then they've still, like, Rubino's now taken an even more sort of aggressive spot over towards that B site. S-Tag is actually getting tempted to rotate back,
I guess
though.
they have no vision on drop down, so
Yeah.
they just don't know what's going on there. So Rubino can watch the platform now. He hasn't got to watch 2 positions. Still a 3 on A. in a 5-on-4, so this is fine. You can see Envy just desperately trying to hold on and maybe like, oh, let's just show a bit towards B. Just fire some shots off. If you just fires like that, it's so obvious, bro. Come on. What are you trying to sell there?
Now they have even less in terms of their push. It's actually going to be a 3-on-3 on the site. Scream already dead. S-Tag rotates back as there's nobody even splitting through the drop. Somehow they do manage a couple of kills, but Keo left. Time ticking away, and the CTs had that red within the first like 30 seconds of the round.
That's like a matchmaking level approach there. It's like, oh, should I go show presence B? What should I do? Go fire your gun like at a window and run back. Are you sure?
Have you got a decoy to drop?
Are you sure that they're going to do anything? No, but like it's something. Like, come on. That's shocking.
Well, at least if he'd gone drop, they could have like kept S-Tag
At least something. Like, don't just run off and leave them and defend for themselves, or you shoot the window out in the B halls. Either way, they do lose the pistol here, and let's see if they can bounce back to the force spike in the second round. Going fast towards middle with the bomb. Flashbang coming in. Scream's throwing that. I don't think it went where it wanted to, but S-Tag will find the first shot with the FAMAS. Takes down Hadji, and he had head armor as well, so that's going to be a rough start. 5-on-4 again. Yugi looking to find some flags here. Not going to happen though. CZ out-duels him, of course.
We got a long range XM. How close can Nico get before that gun becomes a problem? There we go. He's going to be right next to them, but he goes down as well. The MP9 doing damage, but Modi at range can take the fights. Happy just running and gunning, finds another. Still into this 2 versus 2. Rotation going to be back in from Kiyoshima, and I think Rubino just going to go running into his opponent. Happy finds another one, and it's left all onto Modi. Now he does have control of the bomb, and no matter where they really peak here, if he holds the right angle, he has such an advantage with that M4. Okay, the FAMAS being retrieved.
They're just going to try and peek him together, I guess. So Happy's going to go up platform and fire a bullet, shoot the glass, and set Kiyoshima up.
Just shoot the glass. The same again.
Shoot the glass. It's the default
classic
round.
fake.
Default.
Oh.
They win the round. Good shot by Keo. I'm not sure what Rubino was doing there. He's having an absolute nightmare. 4-11, and instead of playing it safe and trying to play off his teammate, he just heard, I think he got a call from a teammate that someone was low. Decided to run and jump around the corner, and down he went.
And our CTs will be on a force buy of their own. Nico with the dig. Yugi actually picking up armor behind his. I think just knowing that if they do buy soon, he's not going to have enough for an AWP anyway. But yeah, we're going to see MV with a couple of Mac 10s. They're looking to farm up a little bit of cash and build themselves into this T side. And well, Heroic have sort of lost a chance to get themselves a 6-round advantage going on to their CT side.
Well, first pick will go against Rubino again. A couple of rounds for him. See the Mac 10s doing some work. And it's going to be Kiyoshima to find that, so you can see Modi already. Easy kill. And that will be the full commitment towards B now, and the round complete.
Yeah, just remaining players will save onto what they've got. Maybe hope for an exit or two, but in all honesty, it'll probably just be the Mac 10s going and hunting to try and farm up a little bit of extra money for Envious. And yeah, it definitely seemed like that round they gave them a way back into it there. So Envy may be able to steal this map after all. RPK is actually the one going hunting with the rifle, but he'll find the kill anyway onto S-Tag, and they don't have too much to take away. Yugi does remove him from action, but well, that rifle's just going to be easily retrieved anyway, so not too much of a problem for the Envy side, and Yugi will be executed in the end, leaving just Nico remaining.
Will Nico get a kill? This is the question. He has the answer. It's a resounding yes. Can't get the double, but he does find Keo. 10-8. Envy on the comeback trail now. We'll see if they can get a bit more done here. Looks like the fully careful rope will have to happen. Again, the scoreboard, 7 for RPK at the bottom and 15 for Hadji at the top. He seems to be top fragging every single MVS game. He seems like the best player of them right now, which is mad to think.
Well, I think everybody in this team anyway has the most to prove and probably the biggest drive to succeed. I feel like every other player in this team has had success somewhere along the way. So Hadji just sort of, I would imagine, as someone who's come up from the academy team and probably been doubted along the way. Yeah, hungry to get the victory, but we'll see if this is going to be the team to do it. Quick easy cleanup in this round. Only one casualty, and I highly doubt Modi can get too much done. Kiyoshima has been tagged at least. But it won't matter in the end. Hadji even takes him down. 4 kills, so he's padding those stats even further. Now, we finally get to see the buy. Yugi, if he does want an AWP, it has to be glass cannon. He has the exact amount, so I don't know. I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't. It'd be interesting to see how aggressive he is, because I feel like, especially like talking about him, I've heard from different people that he does sometimes suffer like under pressure, but surely in this scenario there is none. If this is a team he's no longer staying.
It's very true. Or maybe he just feels bad and can't perform, I don't know. That's so weird to me. Like, he goes out for personal issues and then comes back in Optic, another team. Like that. Something's going on there.
Here for one day only.
Yeah.
It's like a Yugi special, but there you go. He's found the opening pick either way. We'll find the man over towards the B side. The remainder of the T's mostly waiting around A, but CTs are going to use what limited utility they have to hold them back, already down to just a couple of smokes and a few flashbangs, and MV, well, if they just wait patiently, eventually but there'll be nothing to slow them down.
Less than a minute. 5 on 4. Heroic. I really do need this one there. Money is just non-existent. They've been struggling the last few rounds with money. Another opening pick for them though. Smokes towards connector from Envy. There's the bomb, and great smoke from S-Tag. Throwing it just as they finally commit as well. That's really nice, and you can see they are aware and frustrated. As Rubino will try and cover towards middle. He's going to get a double spray down. That's lovely. Great utility usage from Heroic here. Held them at bay just perfect, and when they commit, that's when you drop your final smoke. They've got another one there. Flashbang comes around. This is a really nice round from the Heroic boys. Perfectly played, and Kiyoshima can do nothing with this one. 5 on 1.
It's actually quite impressive with how little they had when getting down to the minute mark, how much they actually managed to do. And Kyo, well, his team will have enough money to buy into the next round anyway. He'll try and do some damage, but ultimately nothing much achieved. And I'm getting sort of flashbacks to what we saw in the previous map, like an almost fake comeback from Envy, and then Heroic just taking things over the line. And well, now they look to build into their CT side. They'll have all the utility. Yugi even going to have some armor in this round. And he's yet to really like show up massively, but what we saw at least on the last map was the CT side was where he really came alive. He's got that AWP once again. We'll see if that's the case.
Round 21. Hadji fast through the smoke. He's still got 4K in his bank account. He's been dropping everything for his teammates as well. As Yugi will try and find the opening kill. It's actually happy to get it done towards drop down. It will be responded quite quickly. S-Tag now with a difficult task. No one's really watching long A, but he will take care of that by throwing a Molotov, buy himself some space. Kiyoshima just trying to sit behind it, hoping that someone will peek. S-Tag aware of the prospect of that, though. Oh, Yugi. Oh, what's just happened here? RPK's got past him, and he doesn't even know. That's so weird. Okay, he does find the kill eventually. I was going to say, like, that's the craziest timing that he's managed to get that drop down.
Wouldn't he have heard the step?
I assume that's why he...
I was about to say, otherwise he just has his sound turned off, like really doesn't care. He's just sat there like, ah.
Could have been the craziest interaction I've seen. Anyway, Kiyoshima, I'm not sure why they're peeking this. I have no idea. You've got the man advantage. Why were you risking it? But S-Tag needs to be clever in his positioning now. Very low HP. Bomb down as Hadji will be holding A. They're running out of time though. 35 seconds and bomb still in B halls.
Got a lot of map control. That's something.
Hadji being here is actually a big deal because they have no idea.
Yeah, especially with S-Tag pushing so aggressively, I imagine they'll assume that nobody's able to come from this direction. Nico looking in that way, Yugi waiting, and now he can pretty much guess that his teammate will be on this site as well. Scream with limited time, he's going to have to go for that bomb plant eventually, needs to hit the shot onto Yugi, will go for the plant with cover, which is something at least. And S-Tag only has 5 HP, so if he can win one of these duels, he definitely has a chance. An AWP and a man who's low. Scream just trying to play the angles, and Yugi desperately trying to find some sort of opener, but actually Scream just completely misses, obviously always aiming for the head. And that doesn't hit anything, just needed a toe shot.
Yugi just staying alive at the back there, just like, guys, I really need help right now. What can you do for me? Scream's waiting and he's mad. But there we go. Bomb down. Still one more buy available for Envy. You can see Hadji can drop weapons there. This will be very similar to what we saw in Train, though. If they lose this, 13-9 down, and you're an eco. It looks like they're not even going to go for it. Surely get one AK, boys. Hadji can afford an AK. Give him a chance. Let him prove himself. No. Goes on a Glock instead. There it is, CZ. I was about to say, you're not going to get any weapon with that money? Come on.
Yeah, maybe he's going to be the one to have to hand an AWP over to Happy in the next round. Maybe he wants one for himself.
I think he'll be giving it to Happy. Told what to do.
Well, there's going to be a faster push once again. Just a lot of noise made early on. They do take themselves some map control. The CTs, well, this seems to be the case from Rubino a lot of the time. He'll get fairly aggressive. He can hear a lot of the movement around. Obviously, they have actually done that. They've maybe expected him to be so aggressive that they've run around the halls early on, and then all of the Ts bar Hadji are going to be rotating back over towards this B site. Look to try and take the fight and drop. You can see the setup from Heroic. They're not going to challenge this position, and rightly so, really. You don't want to come against the pistols in that close range angle.
50 seconds, in they go. A splits to be deployed. Nico can hear them, but it's up to Modi to fend them off. And that PG-50 CZ combo will be shutting them down. It's going to be a clean sweep of the pistols.
An absolute slaughter, Rubino. Only one there to save them. Takes a lot of damage. Yugi is going to at least clean up the one man who was lurking in the form of Happy, which means there's a much higher chance that he'll be able to save his AWP. But yeah, every single individual battle going the way of Envy. The pistols are enough, and considering they were just saving money to buy into the next round, this is going to be a massive boost to their economy. Keo even finds the headshot onto Yugi as well. And that's just one of those rounds where you want to put your head in your hands.
Oh, the
That's the sound. That is it.
The CZ run around the corner, kill everyone approach. It's a classic.
It's quite an in-depth tactic.
It's so mad though, isn't it? Like that guy was waiting there with the M4. He knows they're coming.
Pre-fires.
Pre-fire, ready and go, ready to go. If they had PD50s only, then he probably wins because they can only go. I don't know for the best, but if they have a CZ, as soon as they come around the corner, hold it down, keep running, and it's just it does more damage close range than an M4 does with the headshot, which is bizarre to me. There you go. Just take a damage reduction, maybe just like 60% damage does right now.
Fire rate as well. Or just some sort of accuracy while moving. That would be nice. But I think that's just a dream for now. But they'll just buff everything else.
Yeah.
Add in some sort of Gatling gun. But don't worry, they're fixing the Negev.
Yeah, that's coming down in price again. It's going to be down to $200 next week.
A pistol round Negev, that would be fun. Then I suppose we can't call it a pistol round anymore.
Yeah.
Either way, we got a pistol round in for the CT side, along with an XM and an M4. I do like myself an XM, but I feel like if it comes down to an A retake, Nico may be kind of useless. And it does come down to an A retake, but I don't think they're even going to really challenge this one. A 5 versus 2, definitely don't have the weaponry, utility, or a kit, so just going to say what they can. If Nico can get a kill or two, of course, the value is $900 per kill. He doesn't have a skin for it, though, so what's the point?
That's a shame. Maybe that's it now. I think that's a new cool thing to do. You have everything on default weapon skins. So it's like you're not conforming, yeah.
Nice. There's some cool XM skins. I think I want to see more of them. If you're going to use the weapon, at least snazz
it's really
it
becoming
up.
a thing now, this weapon. Like at Marseille, we were seeing a lot of people use it full time pretty much on Nuke CT side. Like Oscar was using it a lot.
Was it the bone machine that looks really good?
The what, sorry?
I think it's called the bone machine or something
I
like
don't
that.
know the XM skin, I'm afraid. I'm not a connoisseur like you.
No.
I don't think I've ever bought it ever.
Oh, I definitely have.
Yeah.
Hot on a
I can't bring myself
nuke.
to it. Yeah.
Hot on Nuke. Best. Hiko's done it, so it must
We
be
saw
good.
Major's Boy in the grand final doing that.
Yeah.
He got a 3-man spray down against a full bio upper rush.
It's just a great strategy. And also can build up the bank to a ridiculous standard if it works.
$900 a kill.
He's going to try and do that now. They really need a bit of bank because MV wants it. It is looking very similar to the previous map.
Yeah, all the rounds.
12, 11. Not much invested. CT side, well, I don't think they really invested anything. Just going to keep what they have from the previous round. T starting to build up money of their own. And Envy, as we've already said, both teams are in desperate need of points. Even if we are talking about Heroic still looking for playoffs, I think the biggest thing for both the teams is definitely just staying in Pro League.
Yeah, it's the most prestigious online league and leads to exotic locations like Dallas for a large amount of money. So organizations want you in there. There's funding that comes through and there's rev share and stuff. So it's definitely something the orgs want their players to stay within.
Well, that was the funny thing about that Saw Gaming situation where Dignitas bought them, because Saw actually believed that if their team was bought, they still had their own spot. That was hilarious. They thought that their spots doubled. So it would just be unlimited amount of spots for Pro League. That was funny. But they don't have it anymore. The Dignitas do, the same team.
Oh dear.
Well, they have it for now. Either way, Pistol's not going too well. Nico, wherever he goes with that XM, I think he's just got like some sort of magnet that just pushes them away. It repels them. They've got it facing the wrong way around.
Yeah, the shotgun really hasn't blown our socks off yet, has it? It's been quite quiet in that regard, but the auto shotgun will be taken into the next round. I'm sure I'll be using drop down. We'll see whether that will work out. Envy will tie things up 12-12. So your law says that it's going to go 13-12 now. Is that the...
Well, it has to go 13-12, but in favour of Heroic. Well, it's not my law, it's Reese's. So then if it's wrong, I can blame him.
Okay.
That's the smart thing. You don't come up with your own things.
Yeah, just peddle the idea to other people, and if it goes wrong, you didn't...
Yeah, no, I didn't come up with it.
Well, auto shotgun and CZ to be saved here. Bomb to go off. MV will keep 5 players alive.
Although Julie's in the kit is mine.
Julie's in the kit as well?
Yeah,
that one
is
a full loadout?
Yeah, that's mine.
XM and primary, Julie's kit, Zeus as well. Decoy grenade.
Zeus, I feel like you only use a Zeus if you're trying to show off. I'm a serious player, Henry.
Not too flashy. Yeah, want to keep yourself humble.
Yeah. I don't want to get silly now.
Here we go, 25. And no AWP available on either side. Envy certainly not going to be using one. It's the XM for Nico. Big round here. And Envy can post some points on the board tonight. As we get deeper and deeper, it's the second map of 6 of the evening. Next up, we've got Mouse Sports versus Space Soldiers for you. Which should be...
Big game for Mouse
That'll
Sports.
be a good game. This has been a little bit dull. There hasn't been any crazy moments, you know. They've all been quite standard back and forth gameplay.
Oh, Rubino, I think he's heard you. Sprayed up 3 players. Still a man boosted as well, which, considering how aggressive his position was, not to be expected, and are now happy the only one left alive. So there you go, Reese's Law. Told you.
Yep, it worked.
And now I can take credit for it because I mentioned
Tom's Law as well, up and running. And we'll see whether Rubino... How crisp this was. Nice spray control, to be fair. Good stuff. That's such a common position now. You have the safety of the pillar, which can't be wall banged. As soon as you get your first shot, you can just wiggle behind it and get the safety.
I like they had a boosted player as well, though. I feel like that
takes all the aggro away. He can look towards long A as well.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a spicy setup.
Very A-centric, though.
Yeah.
We are still got the T's with plenty of money, though. That's the thing. They are going to be buying back into this one. 13-12. It'll take them still a couple of rounds to reset them, and then the loss bonus will be back up. Although, I suppose if they win a couple of rounds, they're pretty much at the finish line anyway on that Heroic side. Chance to take all of the points in this series. I think, especially considering Envy's position, that they can't really afford to lose to Heroic. Another team sort of in their same spot, lower down on the board. Obviously, Heroic with more of a chance of actually making it to playoffs, but definitely don't want to be losing this matchup, coming out with absolutely nothing. They've got a man in drop in the form of Happy, and the rest of the players are going to be gathering up over towards this A site with quite a long, heavy position set up for this CT side. S-Tag ready and waiting, finds a first flash avoided, and Rubino's here as well, which isn't expected. Again, another double from him, 5 kills in a couple of rounds, and maybe still more to come. Happy at least trying to lead by example as he does. Managed to net another kill, but Modi's still on the site, and the bomb dropped with only 30 seconds left. And actually, I think he's timed that perfectly. It doesn't matter. RPK finds the kill anyway, and now it is all left onto Rubino. We are going to see nades expended. If he can drop RPK, there's actually a chance he can win just off time, and that's exactly what he does. 15 seconds left as Happy now has to come pushing in. Nade drops him down to just 18 HP, and there's 10 seconds for him to get towards the site. He has to go for the safe plant, surely.
Yep, he will. Rabino hasn't been able to scavenge any other grenades, but he has got the opportunity. Oh, he's really fluffed his lines with that one. That was a lock-in, really. He knew exactly where he was planting. He seemed to doubt himself for a second. I think he maybe planted like cannons or something. I don't know. That was really weird.
Especially how well he played the rest of the round.
Yeah.
3 kills for him up to that point, into the 1 versus 2.
He just second-guessed himself there, didn't he?
Actually, we're going to see attack pause from Team Envy.
Is that a reset now for Heroic? I think it is, isn't it? They won the round before with 5 alive. They probably still have a buy.
Maybe another XM?
It's actually Envy that called the tactical timeout.
Probably just because of how close that was. Now, their money should still be okay, even with this, because I think they would have had a buy in the next round, even if they had lost. But as I said, this is crucial for them to get themselves some points from this series, especially with a weakened Heroic, and even just in terms of motivation here for some of the players now. If it's released that obviously a team is coming, that 2 of your players are going, one of them's already not here today. If they then come out and just beat Envy, I feel like Envy have got to be absolutely kicking themselves. And they've already, I feel like they would have wanted to take both maps here. Especially maps that they're fairly happy to play in the form of Train and Cobblestone. But 13-13. Game will be getting underway once again. And the CTs, they do have a buy. Not a particularly good one. We don't see an XM. We got a CZ instead for Nico, which in most people's eyes, other than mine, is arguably an upgrade. We are going to have Rabino on a UMP just to get some extra utility, because the rest of the players, well, there's a singular flashbang and not much else. Although, S-Tag, he's going to go pushing through the edge, but he doesn't get a kill. And that's one of the rifles already gone.
Well, he got some damage off, but that's about it, I'm afraid. As we'll see, Screen trying to fire off speculatively through the smoke. Happy doing the same thing and drop down. Lots of fire around him. Round 27. This could be the one that wins it, though, because there'll be no money for Heroic after this. Again, $1,900. And there'll be 14-13 down. Probably the force buy again. Nika did support Happy, I think. Going to execute him with the CZ, of course. And at this point, Yugi might have a real chance of winning this round for his team.
Boosted up already. Finds a first. Yugi tagged down low, and it's left all onto just one. There you go. The Heroic win themselves the buy, or the force buy, and it's 14-13. However, the one thing that the T's did still have is a bank.
This is definitely all the rounds at this point. Can't avoid it now, as Envy will be coming in with their final buy. And back and forth, the pendulum swings.
We could have one missing.
It's not good. Trust me. This is all the rounds. I've been here a few times before. I know you're new around here. Pro League has been kind to you.
Yeah, no, I'm being positive.
Yeah.
Heroic, I think they've got this. 16-13, I believe. I believe in Yugi coming back, giving them a little bit of hope, and then leaving and taking it all away.
Well, this will be huge if he can get them back in this game and find them 6 points from tonight. If anything, as a parting gift for the organisation to keep them in the Pro League. And the grenade is unbelievable. S-Tags is burning them all to death as the UMP finds a couple of range, but he gets greedy there, Tom. Really didn't have to overcommit with that. And he brings it into a 3-on-3. I don't know why he goes to the repeak. He did so much good work there, and Yuki can hear them going up towards middle. This round decides the game pretty much. As we'll see, Modi doing great work there, overcommitting, but still finding the shots. Happy in another 3 versus 1 on the APC right now, hoping to stay alive, and that smoke buying him a little bit of time. Taken down by Nico, and there it is again. Map point, match point. And obviously, MVF to buy, 2 of them at 2K. Oof, this is getting a little bit rough. They go down, we're getting a single point in 2 maps against Heroic, who have not got their in-game leader tonight. And they've got Yugi, who's just packed his bags and he's off to America.
Well, that's the reason they don't have their in-game leaders, because he's already gone.
Snappy
he got an early flight.
Said he was unavailable, but he's actually signing a deal with Optic. So
we go at pace.
Nice of him.
Change, or being attempted by Scream, but he's already going to be tagged heavily by the nade. And yeah, it's looking like Heroic are all but set to take themselves this 2-0. CT side heavily invested over towards this B side, leaving Rubino there alone, who I will say, over on B at least, he's been doing a good job of at least holding down this push. Over onto the silence then for this round. We are going to have the T's just sat in much more of a default, maybe expecting a little bit of aggression here.
Could be the last round, looking to avoid overtime here. Heroic need 6 from this tonight just to really give them a fighting chance. They're still in the conversation, at least the top 7. I think that one of the teams that's really on the cusp need to win all their games, and a few losses need to go against their kind of counterparts. But there it is, 2 quick kills from Nico. Envy, this is going to be one of the most shocking performances of the season from them. They haven't got their in-game leader playing. There's the team you should be beating anyway, and there it is. It comes through, flawless. 16-13, and yeah, I appreciate Envy have just come back from an event, but they didn't play the last 3 days, so it's not like they've been kind of burnt out at that event. So a little bit of a weird one, and it will be Heroic taking all 6 points away, and Envy fighting for relegation take absolutely nothing there. Alex, what can you say about that one?
Yes, what can you say about that one? You can say nothing because you can go ahead and just take 5.
I'm starving.
Yeah,
You
go get
didn't
some
see
food.
her. You didn't see her.
Dinner is arrived, and for now,
You didn't get
here
it,
at the
but-
Xfinity Analyst Desk, yeah, you've got some, I think, some cold carrots as opposed to hot carrots. That's for Tom. Anyway, I'm going to chat to these
I
guys.
prefer cold carrots over hot carrots, though.
Do you?
Yeah,
now
same.
that's a conversation for another time. I mean, that's like an hour
Tell.
podcast. Hot carrots, cold carrots.
I don't like cooked carrots. I think a carrot is better crunchy. And that game was crunchy, Alex.
Oh, the transition, the segue.
Yeah, really nice,
Incredible. A crunchy game, yes, delectable indeed. Heroic 6 points, and kind of hilarious, really, that they've just gone and picked up 6 points
That's one way to put it.
as their team has completely disintegrated around them in the news.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think if those rumours are true, if those murmurs are spot on, then we might have an interesting Danish roster on the horizon. But the fact that they're still able to get 2 victories here, can you imagine? Yugi and Snappy leave, and then Heroic still have a core, so still qualify for Pro League finals. If they can just lose every game from here on out, so we don't have to deal with whatever mishmash is left of them by the time we get to Dallas, that'd be fantastic if anyone at home's watching.
Yeah, because they're going to use Freiburg as a stand-in from this point on. Listen, I never seen DK use 100% in any of his tweets, so when he tweeted 100% that they're joining Optic, I tend to believe him.
Everyone's done a Moses once, though, haven't they?
That's true. That's fair enough.
100% is a
You
scary...
know, in his profession, it will kind of be career-ending or damaging, really damaging at the very least. But yeah, looking at this game, obviously very disappointing for Envious not being able to get any points. They have no chance to qualify for the playoffs, but they would really like to avoid relegation. Obviously, if possible, not even having to play those playoffs, right, to remain for a spot, just get out of the danger zone. Heroic mathematically still in the race for the playoffs, but I feel that, you know, they're not going to keep up this level of performance against some tougher opposition that's awaiting.
I agree with that, and I think, you know, one of the big, I guess, flaws for Envious and their CT side was the fact that RPK is normally that guy locking down that B bomb site. He had a lot of questionable duels that he went into. He was giving his life up so other people could trade off of him.
Yeah.
And when those things happen, the people that were meant to trade off of him, Scream, for example, wasn't able to convert. So RPK needed to have a bigger CT side in my books for Envious to have been competitive there.
Yeah, and actually we are going to be breaking that one down with our boy Chad. Yes, why don't you make your way over there?
All right, so the 2 pistol rounds that happened here, Alex, you had the way that Envious approached it, and then you had the way that Heroic approached it. The one that I'm actually going to telestrate is the way that Heroic approached it. Now, what I want to look at is what Hadji did. He was the A anchor for Envious on the pistol round that we saw to start the game. He was just playing at the APC, which is just here jump spotting, right? So he doesn't really get a chance to, you know, get early information to his teammates. He's just going to spot, and then they're going to have to play that rotation. Now, you don't want to get locked out of the bomb site. If we start playing it here, what you're actually going to see is Nico is the hero for me. He's going to run all the way down the mid-ramp. He's going to get the line of sight needed to spot out at least, you know, 3 or 4 members. So if we pause it right now, even him just running across, right? He's looked through the mid doors and he's spotted all these members here. Now you're going to see the reaction, the rotation come in from the teammates of his, which are all currently heading towards the B. This is how early it is in the round. They're going to know that there's so many players over towards the A bomb site. We can keep playing it out right here. And you can see that the rotation immediately comes in. There's 3, 4 players now on the A bomb site for Heroic. This is fantastic. Now, maybe it's too many, maybe it's a gamble stack, but they're not going to get locked out. Pistol round, if you give up the A bomb site, like we saw when Team Envious played it, there's no way back in because the Glocks can play so close. So we can just kind of let this one play out here. It's just going to show that they're going to lock this down. Happy's going to go for his traditional lurk. But just that one difference in Hadji jumping at the truck and having late information versus Nico spotting through the mid doors and getting early information gave so much for Heroic, and they were able to play that CT pistol round as a unit and not get locked out of that A-bomb site.
Yeah, and even Happy's lurk didn't get rewarded there as well. You just see S-Tag catching him. It's almost like, who are we playing again? Envy. Okay, check drop. That's pretty much how the conversation tends to go. Just your closing thoughts then, Yanko. Heroic 6 points, but also we have Mouse Space Soldiers next. Maybe a little taste about why that's going to be good.
Yeah, that one is also going to be super interesting, right? Both teams that disappointed, really, considering the expectations that DreamHack Masters, and we know some of the circumstances surrounding Space Soldiers, that their baggage delayed and the gear and all that stuff. So we'll see what performance they're able to put up here. With Mouse Sports, with 1 win securing a playoff spot.
Yeah, 1 win is all they need. That's it from us for now. When we do come back, though, Mouse Sports versus Space Soldiers is going to be going down right here. So do stay tuned.
Incendiary out.